in 1970s, we started getting real technological, supposedly, in agriculture with chemical fertilizers and pesticides and herbicides, and it's gone through GMOs, and now we're using variable rate irrigation and variable rate pesticide and herbicide applications and variable rate chemical fertilizer. And that's one form of technology. And another form is biological. And I appreciate Economics and this group for really pursuing the biological technology option in the world. And so what we're looking at here, what we started with, entisols and iridosols. In the 70s, NRCS went ahead and quantified that almost all soils can be put into 12 different subsectors. And it's called soil taxonomy. And the most enviable is the mollisol, and we'll visit that in a second. But what we have here in the Bighorn Basin, and most of the Mountain West, from where we are in Wyoming all the way down south to Arizona, including New Mexico and Nevada, a lot of entisols and iridosols. And I was told these are bad soils. The only way you grow with them is to add inputs. And what that is a choice: chemical and mechanical germination. It's hydroponic farming. Everyone is basically really saying everything the plant needs we put in the top 8 inches, and they're okay with that. And I believe it's just a missed opportunity for a farmer not to use his soil as a growing medium to add life and to reduce cost inputs. So entisols and iridosols, they generally lack organic matter. They don't have biology in a deep profile. So if you dig, you won't find worms and live bugs and deeper than a few inches. A lot of weed growth, a lot of perennials, but especially after total disturbance of fire or tillage, annual weeds will come. Very compacted because of no organic matter. When you add water, very poor water infiltration, or they become hydric and anaerobic very quickly. As well, in the Mountain West, water is lazy, and that's just not in the Mountain West. Water flows downhill. And what that means is in the Mountain West and in arid climates, water actually flows uphill. The soil, the dirt, is always wetter than the air when it's 15% relative humidity. That means water is always moving from the soil to the air, and when it does that, it leaves deposits on the surface, which are generally alkali, salt, or sodium. And I call them the 3 Medusas of arid climates. And we don't know, so the white you see is generally alkali, sodium, or salt. We don't really know unless we do a soil test, but they're all bad, in my opinion, in when there's too much of them. So on the other side, you know, it's a great place to live, wide open spaces. We actually have all the irrigation water we need. Wyoming actually, past my house, goes into a 70-mile dam that dumps into the Yellowstone River and then in the Missouri River Basin and all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. And so we are actually the beginning of some of the nitrate and red tide problems that the Gulf of Mexico sees thousands of miles later. And so we do have a responsibility, and we can be part of the solution. The iridosol, so it's a great place to live. The best thing about these soils, let's concentrate on the good, is that they're highly mineralized. And we'll visit that later. It's when you look at them, you think, oh, wow, how you're growing in beach sand. But this is how you can feel when you get a fantastic crop. This is our farm in southern Indiana. This is an Amish farm. We rebuilt prior to living here. Maybe I neglected to mention that one. And this was, we bought it in the wintertime. We make a lot of poor decisions, and I am responsible for all of them.